Hello and welcome to this episode of the Talent Optimization Minute. My name is Matt Pepsel, and today we're going to talk about Partner Up. I'm going to go back. A couple weeks ago, I featured this Global Human Capital Trends report from Deloitte. And from a talent optimization perspective, it is a report, it's a gift that just keeps on giving. There was a recommendation in the report that talks about charting a new path, which is all about co-creating the relationship. And when I hear the term relationship, all good relationships are a partnership. And so when we talk about it, you can see in here, co-creating new rules, new boundaries, and a new relationship, the question is, where do we begin? And so when I think about the talent optimization framework, one of my favorite launch points is the diagnose module or the diagnose aptitude, which is all about how do we measure what matters, analyze the information, and then take prescriptive action. So a diagnostic can take a lot of different forms. We can do custom surveys, exit surveys. We can talk about employee engagement surveys, pulse surveys, all kinds of different stuff. But what's important to point out is that there's information in here that tells us how the relationship is going. And so as an example, if let's take a common example of an engagement survey. When we find out, for example, that the diagnostic is pointing to correlations with team members. So how are we getting along with peers and the people that I work with, that sense of belonging, that can point us back to a tool like design, which is all about how we think about teams and designing winning teams. But we might also find there's issues with the job. Is the job making the best use of my strengths and all these kinds of things? That can reflect a breakdown in the partnership when it comes to the way that we're hiring top talent. Are we putting people in the right roles? And are we selecting people and asking them to do things where there's a natural fit between the requirements of the role and the characteristics and the capabilities of the people? If you think about manager ratings and responses in an engagement survey, how am I getting along with my supervisor, for example? That's the domain of Inspire. So now when we talk about, in the Deloitte perspective, co-creating relationships, redefining rules, now we can start to look at the diagnostic for those hot spots that we want to sand down a little bit. And finally, if you think about it at the organization level, you think about business strategy in the future. Has the organization communicated a vision of the future that's compelling? Do I have trust in senior leadership? Common items that we see in engagement surveys. That's where the diagnostic can point to a fractured relationship if we don't see the scores that we want, and then also a focusing point about reconstructing that relationship. So co-creating it, I love that term, is all about how we work together in partnership to forge a new path forward for this new world of work of ours. So extra credit if you grab the Deloitte report and check out that resource. I'll put a link to it in the description as well. But I think it's a great launch point for bringing our talent optimization lens to this specific study. So if you have any questions on this, I would love to hear from you on LinkedIn. It's the easiest way to find me. I thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.